Just kind of waiting for things to catch up. Excuse me a minute. I have a little bit of a cold. I'm waiting for my stream to catch up and show me you're live. Hi, Cherie. Hi, Christy. I am looking forward to this too. Like I said, I'm really sorry about my voice. Rico, I can see myself on the TV. So, air conditioning and me don't would do well. So I sound like I have a cold. So I apologize for that raspy voice. So, we're gonna make a hello, Cherie from South Florida. We are gonna make a challenge card tonight. Hi, Ellen. Well, thanks for joining us. I did share this card tonight or earlier this week for the challenge. The challenge in the Brutus Monroe fan club is to use spooky colors, which like Halloween colors: orange, purple, white, black, green. Does not mean you need to make a Halloween card. But this is the first card I had to share with you guys using the spooky box. Hi, Michelle. And I thought I would share with you. I have another card I haven't shared yet online. I'll share this one probably this weekend. So I have this one as well. That using the trick or treat box. They're just some slimline cards. But then I thought maybe I'd use some of the cards I've made so far with the new release. And then we will go on from there. So the first card I have is the stamp of the month. Hi, Lori. Good evening. Or the stencil of the month. And I just used some inks, cool cone inks, to stencil it all out. And then I used all the details to add a little bit of extra bling on the side. Not really bling, but icons on the side. And I just lined it up and kind of kept going. Hi, Karen from Georgia. So that is that card. I think I have them all here. Some of these aren't on bases yet. All right. And then I have the Fit to Form stencil and the quad texture stencil. I am going to use the quad texture stencil tonight, and I just masked off, or just used the stencil through the Fit to Form stencil, and then used what leftover ink to make, thanks, Karen, to make that the background not so white. This is just some Simon Hurley ink. I think this was Prom Queen and Rosy Cheeks. Definitely Prom Queen. And then my two favorite cards. I have this one using all the detail stamp set. I ink it up with the Weeping Willow ink from Simon Hurley, and then I did icicle embossing powder over the top. And then I used an edger, like an old distress edger, to fray the edges, and I just ink blended over it. I squished it to kind of give it that old world feeling. And then this is the Silk Ties pattern paper that I used. I just cut a strip, and then this is actually a leftover strip from something else I was making. And then this is from the Easy Elements die. And then I put this on a lunch bag mat. And then my last card that I've made so far with this is with the pattern. I see a pattern. I love this pattern stencil. So it's very hard to see. Let's see if I bring this down. You might get a blind in my camera face for a minute, but this is the fiber paper, and I sprayed it with a bunch of the different chroma mists, the copper, the sunset, the bumblebee yellow. I think I even used a little bit of the Merlot. Is that what this one's called? Yeah, Merlot. And then I stamped the pattern over and over and over again with that Weeping Willow ink. And then once again, I cut another strip. And then I had the Easy Elements dies to make this. And then I used the stamp. Oops, I knocked that off. I'll have to glue it back on. The stamp of the month in some golden gourd on a tag, and use the sentiment. So it is, and it's so fun. And actually I made it like an embellished, what's a flat shaker card. So I wrapped it all the way around the edges. So it's like a never ending card or whatever. And that's how I did that. So you can kind of see. And then I just put it on a card panel behind it to hold it in place. And then I need to put this on a base yet. So those are some of the cards I've made so far with the October release. But tonight we're going to use Velveteen Glaze. I was requested to show how to use them. Now I have some older bottles. They do come in this size bottle. These are some older, these are still available, but they just come in this size. I just want to use these up. And the black that I used earlier, I'm out of. I'm have someone gonna order some, so I'm gonna use the black pearl instead, chroma glaze, to kind of get the same effect. So what we're gonna do is I've already got this done in advanced, but I want to show you how I use this. I've got just some cards. These are just out of my scrap bin. I've got some yellow. We're going to do tone on tone, yellow, purple, black, and orange. I'm just going to stick the extra ones. I think we're going to use the die set, or the Halloween party die set with this. And then I've got the quad texture stencil. And what I did, this might be a little different than the ones I have already dry. I'm going to go ahead and grab some old purple tape that I'm trying to use up, washi tape, pixie tape, and we're going to line them up. Now, usually when I use something like a Velveteen glaze, I like to use pixie spray, but I am out of pixie spray, and it will not be here till tomorrow, of course. So we're going to use tape. And the reason I like to use pixie spray is so that I get a very nice, tight seal down. Now, on a stencil like this, it's not as important. I'm just trying to decide what colors I want to do, because I know I did different colors on, I don't know which colors I did, but just kind of lining them up so that the pattern is as equal as it can be. These are 2-inch squares. Um, Now, in a pattern like this, it's not as important as if you have a very intricate stencil, or a stencil that has like little wispy pieces, you know, those parts that can kind of pull up if you're not careful. Then if you're going to use a glaze, you definitely want to try to use some pixie tape if you can, or pixie spray if you can. I mean, that's my personal preference. I'm just kind of lining this up, try to get the pattern as even as possible and straight as possible. I thought this would be a fun way to get all the colors of the challenge in. And then we'll see what happens. Hopefully my voice will hold out, but at least we'll get through the glazes. So I'm just going to glue those all down, and then that looks close enough. So like when if I have pixie spray, hi Tia, I would really push it down with either my fingers, or I grab a like this and I press it in. You do the same thing if you're using like a chroma glaze. Glitter glaze, not so much because it's a thicker paste. But when you're using something that's a little thinner, like the Velveteen glazes or the chroma glazes, sometimes it's helpful to make sure you have a really nice solid surface. Now, another key that I think is handy when you're using glazes, special multiple colors, is to have some baby wipes. These are just cheap baby wipes from the dollar store. And then usually I have a bucket of water, but I don't tonight. So we're just gonna go by quick and fast. Now I have had where if it's dried on there a little bit, you can wipe it off pretty easily. You know, I can just scrape it, but if you just soak it overnight in with some soapy water, you should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead. Somebody asked about, I think I had one that was getting ready to kind of dry up, because it's old, and they were talking about that last week. So I wanted to grab one that was kind of like that. Now, if it is hard as a rock, I don't know if there's anything you can do to fix it. Now, this one is getting a little pasty. You can kind of see it, you know, that it's getting a little bit. It still works. You're just going to get a little bit of a different texture. So I thought this would be a good time to show this. Now, this is my favorite. One of my favorite ways to use it is just on a stencil. And I'm just going to go. And then what I like to do with my glazes, it go one direction and one direction only. Now, that doesn't mean I don't follow my own rules and I just dropped it on my yellow, but that's fine. We can fix that. But I have found that if you like to go all the way around, that you tend to squish it where you don't want it. Now, this is a little bit, this is the one when you'll see my other one that I do have a little bit of over like stenciling, because I wasn't paying close enough attention when I did that. So I did want to show you that. And then I have a stencil pal. Hi, Tina. Hi, Anne Marie. Hi, Valencia. I like to use a stencil pal. This one's from Simon Hurley. You can also use this. I don't know what his is called. The stencil pal is from Deco Foil, Thermoweb, and I use that as well. And I just like to scrape it same direction I already went. Get the excess off. And you can just scrape it off and put it back in. And then quickly before, since this is almost gone, I'm just going to use this up. I'm just going to grab a scratch piece of paper I have here. This is actually just a panel for a slimline card, big panel. And I'm going to go ahead and just use the rest of this up and spread it out. And then I like to wash these containers. I have a bin sitting over here where I used some up the other night that are soaking. And I'm going to just, I save the containers like this for their embossing powders. Like if you get the embossing powder of the month, I'm going to throw that in there quick so it can start soaking. And I just spread it out. Let's see if I can move up here. And you can see that it's starting to, it has a little bit of that firmness where I kind of let it, it was and not really a film, but it was getting that way. And I just spread it out because you can die cut this. And I'm gonna wipe this off. This is where I said baby wipes are really nice. And you can, if you're careful, you can use them multiple times. Of course, I stuck mine in mine. And then I'm gonna use my spatula, stencil pal thingy here and just kind of spread it out. And I'm not gonna worry about too much. Now this is a little thicker, so this is gonna take a little while to dry. So overnight, it's probably this one would have to be an overnighter because it's so thick, but I'm gonna try to spread it out a little bit more. The thinner you go, the faster it will dry. Not that you wanna go so thin, you see the white underneath, but you don't need a super thick coat. All right, now tonight I probably will end up using multiple baby wipes because I'm just, that's just me tonight. I have this piece of grid paper that a friend of mine laminated at a virtual event, and this is what I use when I watercolor, and I have other things. It just, ooh, there's a puppy hair on here. Let's get that off of there. It just sits there, nothing really sticks to it, so I can pull them off. And I just put that aside to dry. Let's grab that baby wipe out quick. Let's see if we can get this wiped up. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next color. You can mix the colors. Like you can put more than one color, and I've done that before where I put a little bit of each color on something and and squish them out like on a full panel, make like a rainbow. Let's do the yellow so we can so this is banana split, and I like to save these pieces. I always stick them back just inside, and then I also always save these pieces because this helps keep them from drying out. And then I like to just mix it up a little bit just to make sure, it doesn't settle like a spray or anything, but I just still like to mix it up in case I have a spot that's getting. Now, I should have turned this so it was easier for me to spread, but I didn't. So we will do that on our next one here because that was something I learned this weekend that helped me a little bit when I was doing 4 colors on one of these textured things. I'm not going to spread any more of this out for flat surfaces because I already have some done and dry. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of copy paper here. This is just in my splatter box. We're going to pull this up and stick it right on top so that I don't worry about getting that mess anywhere. All right. How's everybody's week going? I think this is the way I went, so we're going to go this way. I hope everything is going well for everyone. We are in for a temperature change here in Iowa, finally. It was 90. Now this is where I'm going to say don't do as I say, not as I do. I'm going to wipe this way a little bit because I should have done it the other way. It was 90s on Sunday, I think it was, and the low is going to be 30 on Friday. So we're going to have a 50 temperature spring. I'm really excited about that though. So this is where I learned, see now I can twist this around and it's a little easier for my hands and stuff. So we'll go ahead and use the purple. This is the Happy Heather. I think there's a darker purple. You had some rain this afternoon. We had a bunch last week and we have mowed more grass in the last 2 weeks than we have all summer, if you can believe that. So, all right. So rain's not a bad thing. I am a fall winter girl, so I'm looking forward to the change in weather and soup season and all that fun stuff. I sometimes find that I also take these and I kind of tap them down. I'm gonna do it on my hand. That helps kind of settle all my pastes down at the bottom if they're stuck to the side. You know how, like when you make cookie dough and things like that, but it helps keep that from drying out on the edges. And I know I probably would normally put this back in the jar, but I already closed it up. So does anyone have any questions when it comes to Velveteen glaze? Now this is, excuse me, where I don't have the black right now. I used it all up. So I'm going to go ahead and use the black pearl chroma glaze, which is very similar in the way you can use it. It's just going to be different. It's going to have a different finish. And so I still have my black. So I think, isn't World Card Making Day or this weekend is coming up? I was going to go to an all-day crop in Minnesota, but my plans have changed. My friend I was invited to go with, I can't make it. Well, she can make it if we were home by a certain time, and that's not going to work. So I'm just going to stay home and with the puppy and do some crafting from my craft room. All right, so that's where I said tap that down. Oh, I suppose I can swipe this off. The black pearl is pretty. I've only used it a couple of times. I thought about it today going, oh, that'll work since I'm out of the black velveteen glaze. I actually have, like I said, the black velveteen glaze is in my cart ready to purchase. I've just been kind of holding out for, I don't know why. I think it's because I'm not sure what else I want to get yet. Okay, so I've got that all cleaned off. I'm going to go ahead and put those away. And then I'm going to put this in here. Now I did want to say that I am live over on my YouTube channel, which is under Candi Sugar Cards. I've been kind of slowly just kind of grow my channel. I don't have a ton of videos right now. You're going to do claf roulette today. That sounds like fun, Ellen. I did want to say that I've been requested. I did a blog hop not too long ago, or a YouTube hop, and I've had requested for some beginner basic videos. So I'm going to start making some short videos, like stamping 101 and what I use as a basic supplies, things like that. I do have a poll over on my community page if there's something you'd like me to start with first. But it's under Candi V Sugar Cards. That is my channel that I also do some videos on if you want. So here is the reveal. I'm going to try to take off each one at a time. So there you can see them. And then what I like to do is try to get the paper tape off, hold it from the edges, and then I like to kind of run I've talked about this before in others, I like to rub my hands along the edges a little bit just in case, there's a spot that was over. So I don't have like little hairy things on the edge, if that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and do the orange. I'm just going to rub my fingers on, and then this would take maybe an hour to dry. I have found that you can put it in a sunny window, sometimes on a piece of black cardstock. That works really well. That helps kind of with the wind, and it will dry faster. I do know sometimes people kind of figure out how to put it in, like make it like a little bit of a wind tunnel with a fan so that they can get it to dry that way. But I'm kind of careful because sometimes, a fan can be strong and blow your paper and then do that. So here is where I was going to say I got a little bit, you can kind of see right here. I got a little bit of over. You can kind of take like a pick tool and kind of wipe it a little bit to kind of define the line, but I don't have a steady hand at that. I'm not going to worry about it because these are kind of like background squares. And then here's where I'm going to just kind of wipe the edges. And I can always cut this down a little bit. There's not a lot of pattern right there. and cut them down just a hair. And then last but not least is the purple. And I did have just a little bit in the one corner where it squished underneath. And that was because I did not pay that close attention. A lot of times I'll kind of hold the stencil down. Thanks, Alan. A lot of times I'll hold the stencil down and get that any glazes on top of it right away, and that kind of suctions it down. So it's just here in the corner, but it's not that big of a deal. The majority of it is perfect, and then it's just got that little bit of raised. So I'm gonna kind of wipe these off. I'm not gonna worry about getting them super clean. I'll clean it a little bit more after. Like I said, I use a nail brush um, to clean my stencils. And like if I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put that back in my spot box. It wipes up fairly quickly, but it's nice sometimes if you can just keep a little, like an ice cream bucket of water or something that you can just stick it in and just leave it sit. I've left them sit for a while. And like the stuff I used, I don't know, I don't know if I used some last week or whatever, but it sat there for a long time. And I was like, oh, I should probably clean that up. So it sat there for a couple of days. All right, I'm going to set that over here. It's kind of sticky. All right, let's move on. It is a great stencil. I really, really enjoyed I enjoy having that stencil. I am going to use a little bit of squeaky clean on my desk, mostly because this is the peach that Penny made me buy, and it smells amazing. All right. This piece of paper is just kind of keeping you guys from getting blinded by my light. All right, so here is our results. So we've got, this is the purple. And then you could see where I kind of moved the stencil on that one too. And then this is the black. I remember it's called Night Sky, but it's the black. And this is the Velveteen glaze, not the pearl. And then I have I love this. Yeah, Squeaky Clean's my favorite. I like the plastic meat tray method that I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to look at that. Um, Here is the yellow. This is the banana split. It's a little bit harder to see. I don't know if it'll focus on that. There we go. And then last but not least, we have our, what was this one? Peach Bellini, I think. And that was as close as I had to orange. I don't have any orange chroma glaze right now. So I used the Peach Bellini on orange, but it looks like. So that is our basic for our card. And then I did go ahead and I did some out. I do not know if I'm going to do anything on the background. I just thought maybe we'd wait and see what we thought. These are going to be quite big, so maybe we will make a slimline card. Let's grab a slimline card base. Oh, okay. Yep. Ice cream bucket, different shape. Okay. And then these might not quite fit perfectly. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have them overlap. So I think I'm going to do the purple. We're going to rearrange these just a little bit. Get I think I want the orange down here. We'll do the purple and we'll do the yellow up here. And then I got a little bit of the orange in there, so that's a good way we can cover that up. And we're just going to kind of rearrange them a little bit like this. Actually, I think I might put this one underneath here. Underneath. Keep the orange. And then the orange we'll put on top. So kind of like this. That's what we're going to do. And then I've got these, and I thought it would be fun to maybe make some Halloween shapes with this. And just put them each on each one. And just kind of differentiate the different ones. So I've got them all cut out. I think we're going to make a orange pumpkin. Of course, we better make a black spider. That just makes sense to me. Well, I guess there is a pumpkin thing, but I thought about maybe just doing a balloon. So what I like to do with these, when they come in these folders, our dies that come in these folders, I have self-adhesive magnets that I just buy off Amazon. And I just stick them on the inside, and then I put them inside a folder so that it keeps everything in one place. I think I want to do a balloon. Let's do a purple balloon, and we'll do a yellow balloon. That looks good, right? We've got 3 balloons. Maybe we won't do the spider, maybe because we can get them all to look like balloons. That sounds good to me. And then the pumpkin or the face balloon can be like the second one or something down. Anne Marie, you can do lots of things with it because of the size of it. You can, we do have a lot of 4x4 stencils. So you can just do a partial. Like I said, I used it on this card just as a little bit of a backdrop. I used it through the stencil. I had the stencil laying down. I used it through this. But this is a good way to do it. But you can also kind of get the pattern to kind of lay out. If you know, take your time, especially if you're ink blending, you should be able to lay them out. This one might be a little bit, these two might, I haven't tried, but these two would be very easy to line up so you could continue the pattern. But they add lots of fun texture to different little, you know, little things, and without having to have such a big stencil, and you get 4 patterns for the price of one. You know, I mean, you can add texture to a die cut, which these are just kind of like the big die cuts. So if you have a flower, these would all add some beautiful texture to your flower or your leaves, things like that. Your word dies, um, and things like that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Those Halloween, I know that's, I was like, when I saw these, I was like, I need those balloons so bad. I'm not sure how we're going to lay them out yet, but we're going to just do them. And I think we are going to get the black done with the, for the face on this one. We're going to make him orange. I haven't used these yet, actually, Ellen. I'm just super excited to. I just haven't had a lot of chance to make any Halloween cards yet. And then I'll just leave this off to the side and use them for something else. You know, if I need some stars or a moon or something like that, I always have just little, I have a drawer that has like specialty paper scraps. And that's what I do with them. I believe this one cuts out the back for that black. So, and so if I just want, you know, like the centers of a flower and I want black, I can use those to do that. I'm gonna move this up. But the Velveteen glaze kind of is a matte glaze. I don't know if you can see that. It's not shiny so much. I don't know if I have any dry chroma glaze handy. Otherwise, I would show you that. But it's a matte finish. And it's smooth when you touch it. And I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear that. But it makes a kind of squish, swish sound. All right, so we've got the black balloon that goes with this thing. For the ghost, yep. I'm excited to get to play with them some more. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a chance to make some Halloween cards this weekend or not. I have a couple of things I need to do craft-wise for myself. I have somebody who wants a couple of cards I made, some Halloween cards I made, and they want some copies of them for some clients, so I have to do that this weekend. And then we've got our little jack-o'-lantern. You could even save this little face. I think his little nose is popped out here somewhere, but yep, it's right there. You could save that little face and put it on something if you really wanted to. It'd be like a reverse. But I'll just toss that to the side for right now. There we go. So we've got this. I think we need some string. So you've got your ghost. You could use you know, all sorts of the other things. I'm just going to stick those on because there is a string. I didn't even pay attention to that. I think we're going to go ahead and, I I think I had a piece of vellum handy. Where did I put that? I found a small piece. I'm trying to see if I can find one more piece. There we go. I think I'm going to do some vellum strings. I think that would be kind of fun. Hopefully my little die cut machine will take this. I need new plates for my little desktop one. I think that will add some funness, different to this. There we go. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, we're gonna add the vellum strings. I love the vellum strings. Awesome. I am ready to, this will make a good birthday card. My daughter's birthday is in October, and she is a huge Halloween fan. So I know she likes to dress up as many days in a row as she can on Halloween. Makeup, costumes, everything. And she goes all in. Last year, I know she went to a Halloween party as a clown, and oh my gosh, it was so cute. She had this big, like, I don't remember what color the afro type wig was, a big clown, red nose, white makeup. She had, like tights that were, she was in Florida, so she wore some shorts with these like striped tights. Oh, it was so cute. I don't know if I'm going to cut out, well, I think I can cut out one more just to be safe. Don't know if I need all four of these cut out because they're small, but we'll make it work. So this would be a good birthday card for her. We'll see. And next week, I'm so excited. A week from Friday is my dog's gotcha day. Not that he has any clue. We have had him a year next Friday. And he is trying, but we love him. So I love this little set because you got all the little candies. There's some candy corn. There's a sucker, the candies. Here's the candy corn pieces. And then there's a candy corn base. And there's sucker with the stripe. I haven't cut them all apart yet. I probably won't cut these apart. I'll leave them all together. Same thing with these. I'll just keep them together so that I can die cut them out and have extra pieces. And then I save them in my container. So now these two look very similar, so we're gonna have to change these two around. Maybe we'll put the black one down here, the purple one on here, and the yellow one up top. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna flip these over and put our strings on them, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit of Scotch tape to tape them down. I don't think it doesn't matter whichever way you want to use the curly end or not. I'm just gonna put them on and tape them down. Make sure you can't see the tape on the side, of course. And then we'll worry about cutting them down after. So, do you guys, those of you watching, do you like to make Halloween cards? I like to make them. I don't usually send them. I like Halloween, but I like the fun, cutesy Halloween. I am not a horror movie fan. I do not like them. I had a very bad experience when I was a young girl in elementary school at a haunted house. Excuse me, use my teeth. And it frightened me a lot, and I never really got over it. Funny story is, my daughter's senior year, I took her to the same haunted house because she'd heard stories about me being scared in this haunted house, and I would not go in it. It was at the Minnesota State Fair. So we called my cousin that went in it with me. He's the one who got me so scared at ours because he was running around, big, tough, older kid. And he was like, pretended to punch the characters. And I kept crying, saying, Paul, they're going to hurt you. Stop, stop. Well, he came and he took her in the same haunted house. She loves to be scared. So she had so much fun. And it was fun to be able to let her experience that with him because it's not my thing. Mary, you love making them, and Ellen, you like. I send them rarely too, but I do like making them. The last time I had a bunch of Halloween cards, I actually sent them to my daughter in I don't know if I had to send her some other stuff or whatever, but I just mailed a bunch of cards to her because I figured she could hand them out to who she wanted to. She was all like, "So, what are all these for?" And I'm like, "Well, you love Halloween. I thought maybe you'd want to give out some Halloween cards to some of your friends and colleagues." So she was excited about that. So I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue on the face to attach my jack-o'-lantern pumpkin face. Kind of reminds me of Jack the Pumpkin King. Center him up a little bit. Press that down, and we're going to use a Anne Marie, are you on Facebook? Yes. I think everybody else is on YouTube. You have nothing to make Halloween cards. You know what, Lori? There's nothing wrong with that. You can make fall cards. You don't have to make Halloween cards. I do because I love the cutesy things, the coloring ones. But that is the reason I don't. So Anne Marie, that's why the comments, I try to read them out loud. So those, because I'm live on Facebook and on both the Brutus Monroe channel and the Christopher Allen channel on YouTube and my own channel, to be honest with you. So yeah, Christy, it does sometimes. I agree with you. It does go by really fast. There's certain Halloween sets that I'm just in love with, and I try not to buy too many more because I have an entire bin that's my size and I don't really need any more. But then you fall in love with some. Like, yeah, I just couldn't pass this up. Just couldn't. I loved this. I loved the sentiments and the little Frankie. I mean, I love it all, but I just couldn't pass it up. And of course, this die set is so cute, you know. So, I mean, you could use the balloons and the candy for other things. You don't have to necessarily make it for Halloween. I mean, the candy corn, obviously, but make a pinata type card. These can be candies falling out. So, all right, so we've got these. Now we got to get it. I do like this kind of where it moved and they kind of rearranged themselves. It is a fun box. Yeah. Lori, yeah, it's not, but like I said, you could take this, if you had this, for example, you could totally make this into a birthday card by using just the balloons. um that is one of the things that I really liked about this, is that it's not just Halloween, is that I thought the balloons were really fun. I mean, obviously the spider and that part, but the candy is fun, and I thought I can make balloons, and I have other balloon sets, but I liked the size of these, and I liked that this one, you could layer, like these two layer with each other. So I thought that was fun, to do that. Yeah, that's Christopher's very good about that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start at the bottom. So we're going to start with the purple first. And I think I'm going to use liquid glue on all of these so I can rearrange them if I need to. So I would say if you are really nervous about using Velveteen glazes, maybe the first thing you could try doing is what I did here, is try to get them out. And you can see here where it's thicker and thinner by the colors, but try to get it just smooth. I mean, you can see my black was getting dried out, and so it had a little bit of texture to it. When I dried, I couldn't get the bubbles out, it was like, kind of like, I don't want to say like film, like film when you, and I mixed it in really good, but I was okay with the texture on that. But that would be a good way for you to feel it out and see like that. Yep, exactly, Tina. That's what I thought too when I saw this, and I was really excited to be able to get that because of this, because of the ideas I thought I could have with this and use it year round for different things like that. I mean, you wouldn't even have to use the pumpkin face with this. Well, maybe you would have to. I haven't looked at the die. Oh, it is a die like that. Okay, but there's a thing. You could use you could use this as a basket, and put some texture in it with your lines, um, things like that. So, like a flower basket or an apple basket or candy basket. All right, I'm going to keep going here. Don't want my voice to give out on you guys. It's okay if it dies for tomorrow. And I'm going to put that up just a little bit because I'm okay with it being off the edge, but I want a little bit of space in the bottom. And then we're going to put the yellow one. And that's one thing I was really excited about with the challenge was that even though we're using like the Halloween colors, you can make a purple. Okay, I'm a Vikings fan. Don't hold that against me. I will always be a Vikings fan. I can make a purple and yellow birthday card for a Viking fan. Um, I mean, or black and orange for somebody who likes, I can't think of a color team right now. Or I have the black and yellow, which is the Hawkeye colors, which is from Iowa. So, I mean, you could make a birthday card and those still using those spooky colors. Oh, that is a great idea. Mini purses, exactly. Put some little dollar bills hanging out of them or things like that. And some of them are small enough. Like the candy is perfect. Some of those items are perfect for the tier tray die set because they will go there real easy. I think they fit on there really well. All right, so now we got to decide. I don't know where I want to do. I do think I want this one on here. I kind of want to break up the yellow ones here, and then I want the black ones kind of broken up too. I think that's what we're going to do. I feel like this one should almost be up here, though. And then it kind of matches that. Oh, well, no, it doesn't. It would be like this. The orange, I bumped the black one down, the yellow one down, the purple one down, then the orange one up on top. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I have a cold, so you have to forgive me. Mm. I'm super excited because I think my die of the month comes tomorrow. It says it's supposed to be delivered tomorrow, but it was in Kansas City the last time I looked, so we'll see. Yeah, I think we're going to put this guy up here top. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you're having a good evening. I had to go back when I went back to work today. I put your the fulfillment video back in and finish watching it because I couldn't watch it all. I was at lunch when it started. I couldn't believe you guys were live for 2 hours. That was crazy. It's so fun though. Usually start that when I'm at work or when I'm at lunch or just before I'm about to go to lunch. So I can't always watch that stuff right away. So I'm going to leave the strings the way they are, except this one I might end up cutting off because it's going to be at the bottom of my card. And of course my glue is starting to be finicky here. I've got a little bit of tape on the edge. You are crazy. It was a long one. It was very long, but it was fun. It was fun to watch. I got to help pick orders. I didn't pack orders. I picked them when I was there for Create Your Own Ending. I did pack my own order because I had a bunch of stuff then, and I did. Lori, it's super cute. I order it. It depends on Lori. I think when you subscribed, I knew that it was so I specifically subscribed like first thing on Monday, or on Sunday on the 1st, so that it would ship right away. Because so I thought at times it depends on if you signed up on a different day because of when it charges. I think like that. I'm not sure, but I think that's how that works. I'm trying to figure out how to make this so it doesn't. We're just gonna put this one up and down. Oh, I'm excited to use it. Yeah, I don't know who did, but I'm excited to use it. I hear a little puppy whining over there. Fletch, you're okay. Or maybe he's outside and wants to come in and see mommy. Okay, so we've got this now. We're gonna go ahead and flip it over. We're gonna cut our edges off. Now I tend to do a 3.25 by 8.5 size slimline card. That is my favorite go-to. So we may have to cut this down a little bit more. Oh, I like how that edges. So now if you didn't like the white edges, you could take that stencil, mine is wet, and I could just put a few things in. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is because I like that. I'm not going to worry about these things popping up because if I send this in the mail, they're going to get squished a little bit and it adds a little dimension. So let us measure this. Yes, it is. And they work so hard behind the scenes. So this is 3.5. So I am going to cut this down to 3.25, which is fine because that's going to cut off just a little bit more. There. It is fun to see behind the scenes. And if you ever have a chance to go, you should try and go. It's an amazing store. It's so fun. And I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom because I have a little extra white space there. Just going to eyeball it. All right. So there we go. Now we need a sentiment. Oh, that might have been what it was, Lori. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Sometimes and I ordered the die of the month and then I placed another order for a couple other things right away. And I was like, just so they knew that but I was like, I have 2 orders in, but I didn't want to order them together because I had to pay ship. I mean, I guess I could have, but I had to pay shipping on the one for sure. So I was like, because I didn't order a lot. So I thought, order 2 orders. Let's see, where's that stamp set? That's up here. Well, we've got all of these funds. Yeah, they were having a great time. We've got all these fun little, this would be a fun little backdrop in here if you really wanted to. Best costume, happy Halloween, trick or treat, ghostly greetings. I think let's see what works. I think I'm going to go with 3 of them. We're going to do trick or treat, happy Halloween, and even though there's no ghosts, we're going to say ghostly greetings. And we're going to put all 3 of them on here. They have a good time, that's for sure. There's lots of laughter. At least there's a lot of laughter when I was there. So we're going to just make it in 3s. I think I'm going to put ghostly greetings down right here. And we're going to put happy Halloween right here. And we'll get trick or treat right here. No, we're going to put that one up here. And there we go. We're going to put them on. I'm going to make sure these are straight, or at least straight as I can get them. I'm not good with straight lines. Yeah, it's not quite straight. That's why sometimes I like to do things at an angle, because I figure. All right. So I think I'm going to kind of bend that up a little bit, bend that one over just a little bit while I stamp. We're going to use some Raven Detail ink. That would be fun. Yes, it was a lot. I used some vacation time when I went to Create Your Own Ending this year. It was so fun. I had a blast. It was well worth my vacation time. Had a lot of laugh. I ate a lot of food. I spent a lot of money. But it was fun. It was one of my bucket lists to make sure I got to see the store at least once in my life. All right, so there we go. Now, of course, I wasn't very careful on my magnet put into my Velveteen glaze there. All right, so you could map this on black or orange or purple. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to grab a slimline card base, and I'm going to go ahead and get this on. And then once I get it on, I'm going to cut this tail off. And we have our card. I just put a new ribbon on my ATG gun, so it's it's kind of being finicky. All right. So as we finish up, does anyone have any questions for me with Velveteen glazes that I can try and answer for you? If it comes up to you later, go ahead and leave it in the comments. or ask it in the fan club page. Remember, you have till the end of the month. You can do 2 projects. They do not have to be cards. You just need to use at least 1 Brutus Monroe product and some of the spooky colors. It does not have to be all of them. I'm going to just go ahead and trim it right like that. It could just be some of them. It is a big tape gun, but I go through a lot of tape. So I am a scrapbooker too. Not that I've done that in a while, but there we go. We could add some bling to it, but I think I'm going to call it quit. My voice is starting to give, so I think I'm going to kind of call it a night. Like I said, if you have any questions, reach out to me on the fan club page. If you want to enter the challenge, just make sure you use hashtag CYOE challenge, and it's a random draw for a $25 gift certificate to the Brutus Monroe store. And then I also feature all the entries on the blog. You like big guns. You're welcome, Cherie. Did I answer any questions for some of you guys that were asking? If you have anything else you want me to kind of ever play with or do, don't hesitate to say, hey, Candy, when you have a live coming up, can you do this for us or something like this? Or will you make a video showing this, how you did this or whatever? I love to teach. So thank you. Thank you guys. You have a great evening. Don't forget to create something every day and have a great rest of your week. Good night.